Welcome to the Practice Buddy for Lesson 7. In today's session, we're going to go over the E7 and B7 chords and then work them out with the 8-bar blues and the 12-bar blues. All right, before we get started, we'll do a quick warm-up. All right, so this warm-up is tabbed out below, so follow along. We're going to go very slowly, starting with the first finger on the first fret of the 6th string, second fret of the 5th string, third fret of the 4th string, and 4th fret on the 3rd string. Then we're going to drop everything down, so we'll be starting with the first finger on the 1st fret of the 5th string, and same pattern with the other fingers. And then first finger on the 1st fret on the 4th string, and then same pattern. So that's your ascending pattern. And now we're going to do the descending pattern, so we're going to start with the first finger on the 1st fret of the 1st string, second finger, 2nd fret on the 2nd string, third finger, 3rd fret on the 3rd string, and 4th finger, 4th fret on the 4th string. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be starting with the first finger on the 1st fret on the 2nd string rather than the 1st string, like so. And then starting with the first finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, like this. So that's your descending pattern. Now let's go to the second position and do it again, ascending. And third position. And fourth position. And fifth position. Now we're going to go back to fourth position. And third position. And second position. Okay, and like I said before, we can go all the way up to the 10th position and all the way back down. Now, if you're having trouble with keeping up, just start at a slower pace. You don't have to keep up with me every time we practice. So you can work on this one by yourself and then eventually try to play it along with me up to speed. All right, so we're going to start with an E7 chord using a strum pick strum. Here we go, strum, and then pick each individual string, making sure that everything is clear. All right, so if there's any muted notes, make the adjustment and then pick it again to ensure that everything is coming out clearly. Okay, and then strum. Now what we want to do is relax the fingers and put them back down. Remember, second finger, second fret on the 5th string, first finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. And take the fingers off again, relax, and put them back down, and then strum, pick, and strum. All right, take the fingers off again, put them back down, strum, pick, and strum. And 2 more times. Fingers off, put them back down, strum, pick, and strum. And 1 more time, take the fingers off, put them back down, strum, pick, and strum. All right, now we're going to go back and forth from an E7 to an A7 using a strum pick strum. So let's start on the E7 chord. Do a strum, and then a pick, and a strum. Now to switch to the A7 chord, let's do this. Let's take the first finger off, drop the second finger down 1 string, add the 3rd finger to the 2nd fret on the 2nd string, and then start strumming from the 5th string down. And then let's do a pick and strum. All right, now to go back to the E7 chord, we're going to lift off the 3rd finger, move the 2nd finger up 1 string, keeping it on the 2nd fret, and then add the 1st finger to the 1st fret of the 3rd string. There's your E7. Don't forget to start from the 6th string when you strum. Okay, and then drop back down to the A7 chord. And E7. And 1 more time on the A7, strum, pick, and strum. Okay, now we're going to go from an E7 to an A7 using quarter note strums. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. E7, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to the A7, 2, 3, 4. Back to E7. And A7. And E7 again. And A7. E7. E7, 1 more time, and A7, 1 last time, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to go from an E7 to a D7 using a strum pick strum. Okay, so let's put down the E7 chord, and here we go, strum, and then let's pick each individual string, and strum. Now to go to the D7 chord, basically what you want to do is drop the 1st finger down 1 string, drop the 2nd finger down 2 strings, add the 3rd finger to the 2nd fret on the 1st string. Now for the D7, of course you want to strum from the 4th string. Okay, let's go back to the E7 chord. So make sure everything is clear. All right, we're going to switch back to the D7. Do it very slowly. Make sure all your fingers land at the exact same time. So So just do the best you can. Make sure that your fingers land at the same time. That's so important. All right, back to D7. And one more time on the E7. And one last time on the D7. Okay, now we're going to go from an E7 to a D7 using quarter note strums, starting very slowly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now go to the D7 chord. 2, 3, 4. Back to E7. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7. 1, 2, 3, 4. E7. D7. One more time. All right, now over the next 2 minutes, I want you to work out the 8-bar blues using quarter note strums, and then we'll play it together. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To D7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to A7. 1, 2, 3, 4. E7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to A7. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7. 1, 2, 3, 4. E7. 1, 2, 3, 4. First ending. A7. E7. Repeat back to the beginning. A7. 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, A7, 1, 2, 3, 4, E7, 1, 2, 3, 4, A7, D7, 2, 3, 4, E7, 1, 2, 3, 4, second ending, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now over the next 2 minutes, work out the 8-bar blues with the blues strum. So it'll sound like this. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, All right, and a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now let's do a strum pick strum on a B7 chord. So remember, that's the second finger or second fret of the fifth string, first finger, first fret of the fourth string, third finger, second fret of the third string, and fourth finger, second fret of the first string. So let's do a strum. And remember, that's from the fifth string down. And then do a pick and strum. Now let's take all four fingers off, relax, and bring them down very slowly and put them down. Strum, pick, and strum. Okay, and again, take the fingers off, nice and slow, just relax the hand. Bring it back down very slowly. Strum, pick, and strum. And you gotta make sure that the pinky's not over this fret here. So you gotta crunch the pinky close to the third finger. All right, take the fingers off again, put them back down, strum, pick, and strum. All right, two more times. Take the fingers off, put them back down, strum, pick, and strum. And one last time, take the fingers off, put them back down, strum, and then pick, and one final strum. All right, now we're gonna go from a B7 to an E using a strum pick strum. And remember, we go from the B7 to the E, we take the pinky off, and we take the third finger, move it up one string, take the first finger, move it down one string. So it's kind of a little swap that we do right there. I'm going to practice that a few times back and forth. All right, so let's start on a B7, do a strum, a pick, and a strum. Now, we'll swap the third and first fingers, just drop the first finger down, bring the third finger up, and there's your E chord. Okay, so do a strum, a pick, and a strum. Okay, let's go back to the B7. So we bring the first finger up one string, bring the third finger down one string. We got to do that simultaneously. And then add the pinky, and that'll be your B7 chord. All right, so do a strum, and then a pick, and a strum. All right, now again, we got to go back to the E. So swap those fingers out, bring the pinky off, do a strum, a pick, and a strum. And now let's bring it back to the B7 chord very quickly. Strum, pick, and strum. And one last time on the E chord, and strum, and a pick, and one final strum. All right, now we're going to go from an E to a B7 using quarter note strums. Here we go, starting on an E. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. To a B7. 2, 3, 4. Back to an E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the B7. Now when you're playing a B7, make sure that the second finger is touching the sixth string, so that way, in case you hit the sixth string by accident, it doesn't play. Okay, let's go back to the E. And B7. And one more time, E. 2, 3, 4. B7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. And like I said before, make sure that the sixth string is muted on the B7. It's very important. All right, we're going to move along to the B7 to E7 strum pick strum. So let's start on a B7 chord. Get your fingers down, and let's do a strum. Make sure everything is clear, and another strum. Now we're going to go to the E7 chord. So what we do here is we lift off the third and fourth fingers and drop the first finger down one string. It's easy as that. So there's your E7 chord. So let's do a strum, a pick, and a strum. Now let's go back to the B7. So we bring the first finger up one string, drop the third and fourth fingers down on their respective frets, and let's do a strum, a pick, and a strum. Let's go back to the E7, make it a little bit quicker, so lift off the third and fourth fingers, drop the first finger down, bam, E7. And let's go back to the B7. And just like with the E chord, you want to make sure that the sixth string on this one is muted. I tend to use the second finger for that job. Okay, let's do a strum, pick, strum. Go back to the E7, one more time in the E7, and one final time on the B7. All right, now we're going to go from the E7 to the B7 using quarter note strums. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. E7. 2, 3, 4. Take it to the B7. There you go. 2, 3, 4. Back to E7. Now if you can't keep up with my pace, just take it at whatever pace that you're comfortable with. Just back and forth between the E7 and B7. All right? Your goal is to be able to play it even faster than I'm playing it right now without compromising the tempo or the individual notes of the chord. So make sure everything's clear. Okay, back to E7. And B7. E7. And B7. 2, 3, 4. Let's play it one more time. E7, 2, 3, 4, and B7, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're going to go from a B7 to an A7 using a strum, pick, strum. Here we go. Start on the B7, strum, pick, and strum. Now, to go to the A7 chord, basically all we need to do is lift off the first finger and the fourth finger and drop the second and third fingers down one string each. And there's your A7 chord. Let's do a strum, a pick, and a strum. So watch out for that first string. Gotta make sure that it's not being muted by the third finger. All right, going back to the B7, we just lift those fingers back up and drop down the first and fourth fingers on their respective frets. Strum, pick, strum. Okay, going back to the A7 chord, like so. So the second and third finger variation of the A7 chord is much more preferable to the first and second for obvious reasons. So much easier to switch to. Okay, and one more time on the A7. And one more time on the B7. All right, now we're going to go from a B7 to an A7 using quarter note strums. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the A7. 2, 3, 4. Back to B7. 1, 2, 3, 4. A7. 1, 2, 3, 4. B7, 2, 3, 4. A7, 2, 3, 4. B7. And again, if you're having trouble keeping up, just go at your own pace, all right? So it's not about speed, it's about accuracy. So just go back and forth. And it's just got to be a minute a day of this exercise, okay? Okay, let's do it one more time. So B7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and A7, 2, 3, 4. All right, now over the next 2 minutes, work out the 12-bar blues with quarter note strums, and then we'll play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the A7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to E. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the E7, so lift off the third finger. 2, 3, 4. A7. 2, 3, 4. A7. 2, 3, 4. Back to E. 1, 2, 3, 4. E. 2, 3, 4. B7. 1, 2, 3, 4. A7. 1, 2, 3, 4. First ending, E. And B7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the beginning. E. 2, 3, 4. A7. 2, 3, 4. Now take it back to the E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift the third finger off for the E7. 2, 3, 4. A7. Another bar of A7. 2, 3, 4. Take it back to the E. 2, 3, 4. Another bar of E. 2, 3, 4. Here comes the B7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the A7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And second ending, E. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now over the next 2 minutes, work out the 12-bar blues with the blues strum, so it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second ending. All right, let's take it a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second ending. All right, very nice work today. So keep working out the E7 and B7 chords with the 8-bar blues and the 12-bar blues. All right, have fun, and I will see you next time.